The Advent season is upon us, so I thought it would be a wonderful idea to create some Advent and Nativity DIYs. Welcome to CreArtive by Nature DIY and Decor. My name is Donna. For this first project, you're going to need a selection of some branches and you want them to be fairly straight. I'm going to be measuring one that is around 6 inches and another one at around 4 inches. And as you can see, I am creating a cross. The Advent season is a really important time to my family, but so is Easter. And I thought this would be a great way to commemorate both. So as you can see, I glued the 2 sticks together, and now just for some added strength and stability, I'm using some crochet twine or string, but you can use anything that you have that you like. Embroidery floss would be pretty as well. And as you can see, I tied it on, and now I am wrapping it around the cross section, and that will really give it a lot of strength. I'm now just going to tie it off with a simple knot, and then you can trim off the excess. So I have a large selection of some different tags, and I just wanted to show you the different types that I have here. I've got wood ones and craft paper. You can get all different colors and types. I'm just going to show you here as well what each type would look like. I really like the craft paper, and I decided to go with the smaller one out of this selection. So I wanted to stamp out the words that go with each Advent theme: joy, love, hope, and peace. They may be slightly different for you, and that is fine. Just adjust accordingly. And I had just some words that already had joy and love, but then I went into my peg stamps and spelled out the other words that I needed. I also wanted to add just a little bit of a decorative touch, so I'm just going into my stash of stamps and finding some Christmas greenery, and I'm going to be using black ink and just stamping onto the tag as needed. Now I am going to have some links for you if you want to know more about the Advent season, and I hope this is a beautiful and blessed time for you if you celebrate. So now I decided that I wanted to ink up the edges, so I'm just running my ink pad all around the edge, just like you saw there. And now I'm just going to allow that to dry a little bit, and then I'm going to get my string. Again, I'm going to be using the crochet string again, and I'm going to tie my little tag onto the cross. I did a knot first because I found that it kind of didn't hang quite right. So when I was kind of playing around with this, you can see here I was fiddling around and I just didn't like the way that was hanging. So I decided, you know what, I'm gonna tie a knot first, and that just kind of provided some stability around the tag without it kind of flopping around on the string. Next, I then tied the string around the cross section, and again, I just tied a knot. So I just thought that this was a beautiful way to remember the Advent season and remember what Christ had done for us. So to do that though, I need to attach a hanger. So my plan was to add one to the tree each weekend as we celebrate the Advent season. So for the hanger, I've just folded my string in half, and then I'm going to tie the 2 strands and make a knot. I'm just adjusting the knot accordingly so that I know it's long or short enough for a hanger. I'm adding just a dollop of hot glue on the top of the stick and then pressing the little knot in place, and then it's ready to be hung on the tree. I also included one tag for Christ. For this next project, you're going to need a wood slice. This one is approximately 6 inches across. I am giving it a coat of some black chalk paint, and I'm painting right up to the edge as close as I can. Feel free to use some craft paint if that's what you have, but I just like the coverage that the chalk paint gave, so that's what I decided to go with. I allowed it to dry, and next I wanted to create some beautiful splatters using this iridescent gold by Peebo Paints. I picked this paint up at Michael's a couple of years ago, and I really love this antique gold color. I'm just diluting it a bit with some water, and then using a stiff bristle brush and another handle, I am just adding some splatters to the surface. I wanted it to kind of look like a beautiful starry night. I'm going to allow that to dry well, and then I am going to now create a manger. I already pre-cut my pieces from some vintage book paper. Now, the manger is the feeding trough for animals, and that is the place where baby Jesus was laid to rest. So I wanted to create kind of the wood slats as if it was actually made from wood, not a piece of paper. So I'm just adding some lines using a Sharpie, and that I'm hoping will create kind of like a woodsy look. What I am creating right now is actually called mixed media art. It's something I absolutely love to do. It's where you just take different mediums and create a piece of art, and it's so forgiving. So for the manger, as you can see, I added some gel paint, and I'm doing the same techniques on the legs of the feeding trough or manger. And I'm going to place them to see where I like them on the wood slice. And I'm going to attach them using some matte decoupage glue. Now I'm just being careful where I do place the glue, because I didn't want to build up too many layers to distort the beautiful starry night that I had created. So I'm just applying the glue exactly where I kind of needed it, as you can see me doing right here. So I didn't bother adding any glue over top. I just did the undercoat, and then while the glue is drying, I am going in with my pencil and I am creating a star. Like it's a nice, bright, shining star in the night sky. Next, I am now creating the silhouette of baby Jesus. I just did a head and the swaddled cloth, as you can see right here. I just kept it simple, and I think it's just so effective. Next, I am going to be using some modeling paste. Now, modeling paste is very textured. It's kind of gritty. I wanted to give some texture to this piece, so I added the modeling paste over the lines that I created using a mini palette knife. You don't have to do this step if you don't want, but if you are looking for some modeling paste, then you can pick this up at Michael's. It's the Artist Loft brand. I think it's a great affordable way to try it out. Next, I'm applying some of the modeling paste just on the edge of the manger to make it look like it's hay. And of course, you could just paint that in if you choose. It's completely up to you. Again, this is mixed media art, so you can do lots of different techniques. So now I am going to start to paint my images in. I'm starting off with some skin toned paint for baby Jesus' head. Of course, feel free to use any colors that you would like. And then I am going to add tan for the swaddling cloth. Now, it might almost look the same in the video, but they are different once you look at them close up. I do end up having to paint them in a couple of times, drying in between. So I just wanted to create a bit more texture and dimension where the manger is. So I'm just going in and adding a bit of the tan color over top, just to kind of make it look like it's been old and sitting around for a while. So now I'm just going in and adding just a little bit more paint. This is a lighter shade, a cream color. Again, you just want to create some dimension. So now everything is dry. I am going to now add antique gold and cream over the area where there is the hay on the edge of our manger. I'm using the two colors to just, again, create some dimension. Next, I'm going in with my gold acrylic Peebo paint, and I'm going to go over the star. Now, as I was doing this, I realized that perhaps I should have maybe tinted my modeling paste with the paint, because I actually did kind of struggle a little bit painting this and making sure I had full coverage. I added just a hint to the outside of the star shape just to make it look like it's really glowing in the sky. I'm now adding a little bit of that gold paint onto baby Jesus. I just wanted it to look like the star was glowing down on him and just bringing in all that glory to earth. I've allowed that to dry, and now I'm going in and I'm just using my black Sharpie to outline. That just really helps to make everything pop. So you can see I'm just going around the manger, and then I will go around baby Jesus. I give the entire piece a coat of some matte varnish, and then it's ready to be put on display, and I am absolutely in love with this piece. For this next project, I am using these canvas sheets from burlapfabric.com. They have a coupon code for you, $5 off on a $5 purchase or more, and that is good till February 28th. I'll have all the links for you down in the video description box. So these canvas sheets are printable. So I created myself an image in Canva, and all I did was typed up "Oh Holy Night," chose the fonts that I liked, and then I just arranged them on an 8.5 by 11 inch graphic. And then I am inserting some stars that are free to use. These are all free to use within Canva. I saved it to my computer and then I printed it. Now I did end up printing it down to the size of a 5x7 for the project that I am using, but this was my test image, and I have to say I was blown away at how well this printed. It is laminated on the back, so that's why it went through the printer so easily. Here is my image in a smaller size, and I wanted to place it inside of this this wood canvas panel I picked up from Dollarama here in Canada. You can get these online and at other craft stores as well. I needed to trim it down to size, so I'm just figuring out my measurements, and I'm just going to mark it off with a pencil. So now that I have my size figured out, I'm just going to trim it down using some scissors, and I'm going to set any scraps aside for later use. Right, so now I'm going to give my canvas board a coat of the gel stain in the color Walnut. I will use a combination of a paintbrush to get right in all those crevices and I'll be using a rag to remove any excess or actually to even apply it. I really love walnut stain. I think it's such a gorgeous color, and this particular brand is from Decor. I'm also going to be doing the sides and the back. All right, so I'm allowing my canvas board to dry. Now I'm going to just add a little distressing onto the canvas sheet that I made. So I'm using some archival ink, and I'm just using a sponge, and I'm just applying it to the edge. You can kind of see how it just adds just enough texture and interest around the edge to make it look like it's distressed. So now I'm going to adhere the canvas sheet to the panel, and I'm applying it using some tacky glue. Just going to spread it out using a card. You can use a piece of cardboard as well, and then I'll put it into place. I just made sure that I added the glue right up to the edge of that canvas sheet. I'm going to just smooth it out using a bone folder, and I'll just remove any excess glue that might pop out, and I'm going to allow that to dry. All right, our piece is all dry. Now I'm going to add my favorite little touch, and that is branches. I had foraged these on a nature walk, just on some trails that are really close to my home, which is awesome. And I'm just trimming them down to size, and then I'm going to use some hot glue to put them into place. You could add some moss to this as well. I think that would be a really pretty touch. I think a project like this is so versatile. You can put any type of quote on the inside or choose your favorite Christmas carol and print it out. I think that would just be so beautiful. I think also you could put some sheet music in behind the printout as well. I think that would be beautiful. So I'm just going to continue to add some branches here and there until I get a look that I love. Here is a recap of all of our projects. I really enjoyed creating all these beautiful Nativity and Advent DIYs for this beautiful Christmas season. So I always love to know what you think by leaving me a comment down below and which project was your favorite. I appreciate each and every one of you for dropping by today, and we will see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.